starting up webinar. Just one or two more seconds. Ready, you can start.
Anshu, hope you and everyone in the team are safe. Thank you so much for taking time for this. For the well-wishers and friends here, can you please share briefly the situation on the ground, especially the migrant laborers in the cities of India?
So I think we need to see the larger picture of this disaster, because what happened suddenly that in India, more than the health disaster, it is now the displacement and the other issues, related to the people. And what happened suddenly, the entire focus is on the migrant laborers who are still stuck here and who wanted to go, couldn't go, and the people who have lost jobs are also a part of it in the cities because of the lockdown. Um, that is certainly a huge target given the population of India, fine, and the informal sector and the number of people who are employed in these kind of jobs, which are pretty insecure right now. We are also saying that if we divide the population in three parts, one is the people in the cities who are jobless right now because of the lockdown, and also it will take its own time to come back to the normal. Second, people who are already on the way, which we all saw the pictures all across on the highways, and so this is like second category, which is not coming back to cities, but it is a reverse migration going back to the villages. And the third and the most important but most ignored target in India is the rural population, because suddenly already very stretch. I mean, we all know, because all of us, most of us are working, in rural India to take care of the distress even before this COVID disaster. Suddenly, you see that that third target, which is the village India, which is the larger population of India, has more people and less resources, because they are also under the lockdown. So already the resources were stressed, and suddenly, because there's no daily income, even for those people, plus these lakhs and lakhs of thousands, hundreds and thousands of people who have gone there, have also added in that population. So I think that is a stage, and for next few months, to start with, for sure we need to. I think it's a question of survival. I always say that a lot of people are talking about sustenance and all, and I'm saying that it's important to survive before we sustain. So we have to get together to take care of the hunger part right now, and the delivery part of food material, and also as Goonj, what we are trying to do. So we are up in 20 states, in different parts of 20 states to start with. We have just used that network which we have created in the last 2 decades. We are trying to do as much as possible in the cities, right from literally cooking meals to supporting kitchens to getting the ration kit, but also in a very large scale, we are focusing on rural India, um, uh, including the procurement from the local farmers, so that the income really sustains, the nutrition happens, and then people are there that way. So that's what is the situation. And I think in Indian context, what we all need to understand is a simple thing, which is a number, right? I mean, the volume of the people affected by uh, this this disaster and the lockdown, unlike any other country. I mean, I'm sure that many other countries are also going through exactly the same phase, but in India, it is much deeper, much longer, and because it's a very widespread country, and a large part of it actually still lives in the villages. And this is one case where people have not migrated from the village to the cities, but a large number of people have been migrating from the cities to the villages. So let's not just focus on the cities. Unfortunately, as always, most of the people just talk about that. And there is a forgotten rural India which is much larger, which has become larger now.
Anshu, can you very briefly tell what is the team Goonj doing, especially in the last few weeks? when this problem of pandemic has actually become a disaster itself?
So Shrikant, I mean, we never knew that the network or the grid which we have created in the last 2 decades of our work, which is a city and largely in the villages, the relationships, the logistics, the the relationship with the units of Indian Army to panchayats to local organizations all across. We never knew that there will be a day when the entire network, can be used in one go, because all other disasters used to happen, except poverty and sometimes drought. All other disasters used to happen in certain localities, and the entire nation used to be there to support that. This is one disaster which is pan-India disaster. Fortunately, we are very widespread. We have about 20 small, big offices all across the country, and a large number of our setups are there in the rural India also, right? Plus, we have a few hundred partner organizations with whom we have been working for years. So, in the last few weeks, 3 4 weeks, we have already activated our work in 20 states, where we are also, to be honest, focusing on the cities and also the villages. 100 plus partner organizations with whom we are working. We've also, I mean, one of the solution for this disaster is complete decentralization, right? Because it has to be a localized solution with localized money, localized purchases and everything. So we have completely decentralized the operation because we can't move the material, but we can always procure from the locals. So that boosts the local economy also, and that reduces the human touch, and that reduces the burden on the logistics. So we are making masks, because we in any case work on cloth with machines, and the women who are very trained. So many centers we have started making masks. We are making sanitary pads, family kits, working with these 100 plus organizations as of now, and every day it is increasing. And most importantly, by tomorrow or day after, we are launching major campaigns on do-it-yourself kind of thing, where we are actually telling people how to make mask and pad and undergarment on your own. So we are actually completely making it open source. In any case, Goonj thing was always open source, but now we are making it further so that village economy start getting the local employment as of now, maybe by just creating masks and undergarments and pad, just one small part, apart from other agriculture incomes.
We definitely look forward to learning more about this and talking to you again in the coming days, Anshu. Meanwhile, is there any message for friends and well-wishers here who are unable to be on the ground but can only hear from you?
So I think this is one disaster where less people need to be on ground. Fine, it's very simple. Yes, we need more because unfortunately a lot of people are who are able-bodied. I mean, who can really come out and do something, especially the medical fraternity in the country and all, can do much more. Uh, but that's just one thing which people need to understand, that this is not like any other disaster. So if in earlier disaster we used to think that $100 is good enough or 100 rupees is good enough, uh, and for the time being, no, this is not in this particular disaster. So when the people who are suffering are in volume, people who need who can stand with the people also need to be in volume, and in a bigger and deeper way and for a longer term. I mean, this is not one disaster where you say that, okay, fine, we have given 10 kg, 15 kg of ration and this is good enough. I mean, the lockdown, in my opinion, is not a date. That's what unfortunately people think. It's not about a date. The lockdown is applicable till the time people come back to their jobs and start earning. Till that time, there is lockdown in their life. So how do we really understand the larger perspective and take care of that in that particular way? That's the whole issue, and which people's friends sitting there and in many other countries can certainly do a lot. You need to really support as much as possible the grassroots institutions, the people who are delivering immediately. I think that needs to be our focus area immediately.
Thank you so much, Anshu. Definitely look forward to talking to you again soon.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All the best.